All right, it's time for the Diamond Hill top performances of the week. This is where we pick a unit, a team, some other, it's not an individual performance. It's more of a unit type performance. Diamond Hill Incorporated is celebrating their 20-year anniversary. For 20 years, they have been serving all of Delaware and the surrounding areas in all things construction, from commercial concrete and site development to residential projects. They have you covered. You can email info@diamondhillinc.com for more information. That's info@diamondhillinc.com. And the owner, Mike Sheehan, wanted to wish all the high school athletes the best of luck this year. He, of course, a former St. E's athlete in football. Did he play football, Marty? Yeah, no, yeah, you know that guy. Basketball player and baseball player, I know, and a very, very good one. So we thank Mike for his support of the Diamond Hill top performances. All right, Marty. First thing I want to mention is last week we talked about the AI DuPont band and football team, and I didn't have the name of the band director or the band front advisor, and I do. Somebody reached out, and I thank them for that. The AI band director is Richard Weaver, and the band front advisor is Jessica Burton. So just wanted to give them their due. We were talking about how wonderful it is that with 9 band members, they've still got a band, and they're still working hard at it. So congratulations to them.
By the way, real quick, along those lines, I just wanted to throw this out there. AI Indian River played last night. I didn't want to forget this. To anybody who's wondering, because I asked repeatedly for the score, the game was called at the end of the first quarter because it was the only night game last night, and the thunderstorm hit. Indian River was winning 28-0 at the end of the first quarter, and I don't know how that works from this point forward, but the game was called at that point.
I would think it was it down at Indian River. It was, right?
I'm not sure. I think anyway. It might have been at AI.
But actually, I can look right now. It was at AI. You are correct.
Okay.
So here's how I think it works. I don't think they can call it an official game. I wouldn't think after one quarter, but I don't know. We'll try to look that up. I also think that they could decide that since it looked like it was going to be a lopsided game, that they would just go ahead and call it over.
A coach's agreement.
And the coach's agreement that it counts. They don't want it to be a no contest because then neither team gets credit for playing the game, which becomes a playoff point situation at the end. And so
for Indian River, this was their first game.
Right. Yeah.
So they still haven't really played a game yet.
Right. And both teams will need points, whether, and so we'll update you on that. We'll try to get that information and update you on that. So, all right. So my first top performance is going to be the St. George's coaching staff, making that halftime adjustment against St. Mark's, down 9-0, go into the locker room, come out and rattle off 20 points, and the defense gives up nothing. So it was the entire coaching staff with the change there. Head coach, of course, is John Wilson. Assistant coaches, Jimmy Cullen, Dave Williams, Devin LaBelle, Daniel Callahan, Marcus Hayes, Anthony Alentrio, and CJ Lamborn. And I got that list off the website. So I apologize if somebody should be on there that's not. Certainly let us know, and I'll give you a mention last week like I did with the AI band folks. But I just thought that was a great adjustment at the half and then come out 20-0. That is huge. My other top performances are from Red Lion, and that's the extra point unit. Sam Crossan, the kicker, J.R. Montgomery, the snapper, and Braden Coleman Jr., the holder. 6 for 6 on extra points. Now, it was a 44-0 win over Glasgow, so there wasn't a ton of pressure after the first couple. But anytime you see a high school extra point unit pull off 6 for 6, that's deserving of being considered or named one of the Diamond Hill top performances of the week.
And I love that you and I started singling those units out last year because they are so important. And we've seen games now. Charter this week, the field goal unit has to perform at the end to win a game. My first one is the Lake Forest offense. They played up against CR, and CR had some moments last week against William Penn where they looked really good. And I talked with Josh Webb, the one of the offensive coaches for Lake during the week, and he kind of outlined what they were looking to do offensively. And when then I watched the game, and boy, tick for tick, they did everything they wanted to do. And it just goes to show, it's one of those things where you look at the strengths of your own unit and you go with that, and it works out, when you play to your strengths instead of not necessarily the other team's weaknesses. So I was very impressed with the Lake Forest offense. And then on the flip side of the ball, the Caravel defense, John Reed, and I don't know who the defensive coordinator is now for Caravel, but that defense was, man, they were stout against Hodgson, a Hodgson team that racked up the points last week. You could tell there was some serious film study done and just some great athletes on that side of the ball. But that doesn't have, you got to put that stuff together, and that's coaching that puts these kids in the right position to succeed. And they were just in the right position to shut down Hodgson all night long. So Lake Forest offense and the Caravel defense are my top units this week.
All right, there you have it. The Diamond Hill top performances of the week. It's now